Okay, guys, what is up? This is OJ Senpai here today to review Naruto Chapter 672. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this chapter was probably one of the best I've read in a while, a long while, because not only did we see Night Guy, but we saw Naruto come back in a really epic way. He came in and he kicked the black ball that Madara threw at Guy's frail body, and I mean this chapter was really good. Then there was a flashback and there's everything else, but that one last page, Kishi, we need to talk. But before I get into that, let me go through just the basics as usual. Pacing, story progression, and artwork. Pacing. Pacing was actually pretty good. Yeah, the guy versus Madara fight's over. Naruto and Sasuke back away, and yeah, basically the pacing I'm gonna give it good plus. It was a good plus pacing. When it came to story progression, again, Naruto and Sasuke are awake again. It looks like they've gained the powers of the Sage, and they're about to go. They're at least Naruto now is trying to fight Madara again. And Guy, I don't know if he's dead or not. Look, I'm gonna get to that later in the video. You guys all know that could be a potential problem, but I'll get to that in a little bit. So yeah, story progression. I'm gonna give that. Actually, I'm gonna give that a great. That was great. That was great story progression. And when it came to the artwork for the Night Guy was phenomenal. I swear to God. I looked at it, and the Night Guy was all blazing. Like, he was blazing more than usual. And he looked all dark and shit. And he was just sitting there. He kicked Madara's ribs. I'm like, holy shit. The artwork was on point. I was like, damn. And of course, you see Madara. Madara's fucked up with his ribs and shit. His ribs are like cracking. He looks all messed up, his face. It's just insane. Like, excuse me. It just looks phenomenal. I'm sitting there, I'm like, God damn, Madara. I mean, goddamn, God, but still Madara. I mean, he got fucked up a little bit. So yeah, overall, good plus, good and great. Yeah, this is a that overall that's great. Now, when it comes to the actual chapter, let me start off with the flashback first because everything else I want to talk about a little bit later. This is one of those Naruto flashbacks where you just can't help and say that it was a good fucking flashback. Because Kishimoto is infamously known for how many flashbacks he puts in Naruto. Not just in the series, but in every fight that we've seen so far. There's always a fucking flashback. Always. And every time there's a flashback, usually the flashback really isn't that important. Usually. There are some times where flashbacks can be important to the story. Maybe we just haven't seen that flashback yet. Or that information needs to be told. That's when a flashback is important, and that's why I like this flashback in this chapter. But usually flashbacks, especially when it comes to Rin flashbacks, it's annoying because every time we see him, it's just Rin. Obito. I'm like, dude, oh my gosh, Obito, please stop. So, but this flashback was actually pretty good. And it basically it's the meeting, I think it's the first meeting between Guy and Kakashi. And Kakashi's father, I forgot his name. I don't know. The White Fang. I know his nickname is the White Fang, but I forgot his real name. And then we see Might die. We see Kakashi's father, they converse. And then Guy and Kakashi, they converse. And we find out apparently that Guy actually failed the Academy entrance exam. And I forgot, is there Academy entrance exam? Like, I know there's, like, when you want to be promoted to a Genin instead of an Academy student, I know that there is an exam to get out. But I never knew that there was an entrance exam in the first place. So maybe, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe I might have forgotten, or it might just be revealed right now. So I don't know for sure. But tell me in the description box down below, is this the first time it's been revealed? Or has it been revealed before? I can't remember. I don't remember everything. I'm not God. So I mean, when it comes to that, yeah, apparently he failed his first Academy exam. And Kakashi, you know, even as a little kid, he was talking shit to Guy. Guy's just sitting there is like, oh man, I failed this exam. And then Kakashi's like, oh man, you failed. You're a complete failure. And then he's like, Dad, you want me to talk to this guy? Like, this guy's a complete failure. Why were you talking to him? I'm like, Kakashi, damn. So, I mean, I thought that was pretty funny. I mean, I felt sorry for Guy. I thought that was pretty funny. But basically Kakashi, he's doubting Guy and like the best, and then all of a sudden Guy is just like, thank you for the encouragement. He's just sitting there doing the same thing that his dad did. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn, that's pretty powerful. So, and then we see Kakashi, he's confused. And then Kakashi's father, the White Fang, he mentions to Kakashi, look, don't underestimate him. He may have failed the exam the first time, but if he's determined and if he's willing to, He can put his mind to anything, and he might even become a great rival for you. He might be even stronger than you one day. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn, that's some sick foreshadowing. And then we see in the actual chapter now, when we get out the flashback, Kakashi says, Dad, I think you were right. So Kakashi is implying that, yeah, Guy did surpass him in every way, shape, and form. And regardless of whether or not it's implied or confirmed, you already know that based off of 8 gates alone, Guy, he completely, like, outshadowed Kakashi, despite the fact that he was a dropout. And I'm not gonna, well, I am gonna bring it in. If you watch my Is Neji Hyuga Right video about the whole thing about destiny, about how destiny can determine whether or not you're a failure or a success, this kind of goes in the same way for Guy, in the sense that Guy was probably destined, like, Kakashi probably thought that Guy was destined to be just a failure. But again, you can control destiny if you're willing to, and you're willing to work hard. And Guy, even though like destiny wasn't really mentioned, but Guy worked hard to become as strong as he is today. And I think that he controlled his destiny of becoming a failure to eventually becoming a man of success, a man who could fight on par with someone who has a power close to, or if not on the same level as the Sages of the Six Paths. So I think that's pretty cool when it comes to the flashback thing. So the flashback, that was great. That was great. One of the best flashbacks I've actually seen in a long while. Now, when it comes to the chapter itself, we see Guy actually pull out the Night Guy technique. Now, apparently, according to Madara, despite the fact that Night Elephant did fuck up Madara, like, kind of a little bit, he noticed how Guy was still standing, that Guy still managed to put in one final attack that actually fucked up part of Madara's ribs. And you have to consider the fact that 8 gates is powerful as fuck, to the point where it can fuck up your body after you use it. But the fact that Guy still had enough strength to land that final Night Guy attack, I was like, damn. Not only is he powerful as shit, but he managed to stay in the 8 gate for at least, I think, 3 chapters now. Yeah, 3 chapters now. So I gotta give credit to Guy where credit is due. And of course, we see him pull off the Night Guy attack, breaks through some of Madara's ribs, and then after that, Madara's like slammed into the Shinju tree. And after that, we see Guy, he falls to the ground. He's done. He's pretty much like, at this point, all his chakras is fucked up. He can't move his arms or his legs, and his heart, if it's still alive, he's barely still breathing. Like, his heart must be at his death door. And then when it came to Naruto, we see Naruto, he jumps in, and then he kicks away the black ball that Madara threw in order to finish Guy off. And we see something that Naruto does, and that's like, whoa, oh shit. Kishi, that's a problem, bro. It could be a problem, but we don't know exactly what's gonna go. But before I get into that, we see Naruto and Sasuke, they get back up. And Naruto, apparently he has the sun kind of mark on his hand, and then we see Sasuke wake up, and he has the moon. So apparently the Six Paths powers are already bestowed to both Naruto and Sasuke. And we see Naruto at the end of the chapter, he puts his hand over Guy's heart, and immediately afterwards you see a couple of markings like over Guy's heart, and Madara's wondering, whoa, you're pretty damn strong. I never knew that you would become that strong. And Naruto's like, yeah, I never knew this either. This is like just full of surprises. So that's where the chapter ends. Now let me talk a little bit about what happened in the last chapter, the last page, then I'm gonna call it the video. So, okay. I'm not usually skeptical sometimes. Sometimes I can actually, like, I know sometimes that shit doesn't go down really that far. But when Naruto put his hand over Guy's heart, it worried me. It really did worry me. I was sitting there, I was like, yo, what the fuck? What's going on? Like, Naruto, what are you doing? I immediately thought afterwards, Naruto, I swear to God, if you revived Guy, if you didn't let Guy die, if you tried to save Guy's life, oh shit, I'm coming straight for you, Kishimoto. And I'm worried because I think that's what's gonna happen. Because think about it, Naruto now has the powers of a god, or at least half the powers of a god within inside of him. If Naruto can use that power to its efficiency, he could bring Guy back to life. Now, normally, again, I'm not that skeptical about these things, but when you see what Naruto has done in the past, it's a problem because it's like, wait a second, so Naruto may have revived Guy, and that's a problem because Guy should die. Now listen, Guy's one of my favorite characters in the series. I actually have a great attachment to him when it comes to all the characters I've seen so far. Him and Rock Lee, and Rock Lee kind of know, but my Guy probably yeah. But so I like Guy a lot, and I think he's a great character. But my problem is that when you use 8 gates, no matter what, Kishimoto explained, when you use 8 gates, you die. I understand that Naruto kind of did it, might have saved Guy's life in a non-bullshit way, but at the same time, that still keeps away from the fact that when you use the 8 gates, you should die. Not only that, Guy was willing to lay down his life just to protect the springtime youth, whatever it's called, just to protect that. He sacrificed everything, his chakra, his heart pulsing, everything, just to protect that. And if Naruto comes and saves him, I don't think Guy will be happy. No one will be happy. No one. Guy would have wanted to die. Guy wouldn't have said, actually, I'm not saying I know Guy, but Guy probably would have said, yo, Naruto, let me die. I died to protect you and Rock Lee and all the other youth because you are our future. Why the fuck are you saving me? And I swear to God, Kishimoto, don't do that shit, bro. Don't bring Guy back. And if Guy is still able to be revived, then just think about it. Naruto could probably save everyone else within the Shinobi Alliance that's died. 1 second. And I would not like that at all. I would not like that. Excuse me. He could probably save the entire Shinobi Alliance, those that are dead, and that's a problem. I understand you have the powers of a god now, Naruto, but you should not save Guy for all that Guy is worth. Guy risked his life just so that you guys could be safe. He stalled Madara just so that you guys could be safe. Do not. It makes me mad because I'm like, Naruto, the fuck? And it's all about this whole, like, solving wars without having anybody dying, having just true peace. I'm like, damn it. So it all stems from this whole this whole child of prophecy thing. I'm like, Kishimoto, why would you introduce that? It just makes no fucking sense. So, I mean, but yeah, if you guys haven't seen the, Is Neji Right thing, if you guys haven't seen that yet, I'm gonna post an annotation somewhere on this video. I might as well, if you haven't seen it yet. I think a lot of people have, but if you haven't seen that yet, I'll, post it somewhere. There'll be an annotation somewhere here. And, yeah, so that's the chapter. I was gonna give it a senpai level chapter. You know, I was already a senpai level, but because of what Naruto did, I'm gonna give it a great plus. Because, I mean, again, I don't know for sure if Naruto saved his life, or Naruto just prolonged his life for just a good second. But regardless, yeah, like the video if you like it, dislike it if you don't. Great plus chapter, yeah, and I'll see you guys later. Rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm OG Senpai, and I'm out. Peace, guys.